Hello and welcome back to another episode in the Arithmetic and Fundamentals series. This is episode 4, and today we're going to be talking about number lines, what they are, why they're important, and how they can help us in what we have learned so far. We are going to talk about number lines before shapes just because I thought it would fit in a little bit better. And so let's go ahead and introduce some concepts. Unfortunately, I just did this video, but my audio quality wasn't that good, so I'm going to go ahead and redo it. And that's why everything's already written out. But so here we have a concrete or discrete number line. And this number line starts at a specific number and ends at a specific number. This contrasts these kinds of number lines, which either don't start at a specific number or don't end at a specific number, or both. These are continuous, and we will talk about these in the future when we start learning about continuous numbers. Number lines are amazing for learning how to count, and they're really the first models in math that you will see. You will come to see a lot more, such as graphs and other objects like that. But right now, the number line is really the first one that we will see, and it becomes really important, especially for learning how to count. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's go ahead and construct a number line here. Let's say we start at a number and we end at another number. So we're going to start at 0 and we're going to end at 9. And we can go ahead and break this up now. And so these spacings should be even. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so we can go ahead and make our models like this. Our number lines can represent whatever numbers or set of numbers we want. Right now we're representing 0 through 9 because those are the numbers that we have learned. And what do I mean by they can help us with counting? Well, if you look over here, we have a bunch of arrows, and this can kind of look like a mess. But it's very helpful. So from 0 to 1, we're counting up 1. So we go from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and then 8 to 9. So each time we're going one dash up or one tick up. And this is us counting by ones. Or right now I'm just counting. In the future, we're going to learn how to count by other numbers such as 2 or 3. In that case, we would pick a number such as 0, and we would count 2 dashes up. So we have 2 arrows here, which this arrow would jump. And then again, from 2 to 4, we have 2 arrows here, which this arrow is jumping. And 2 arrows here, and 2 arrows here. And then if we wanted to count by something like 4, we would go from 0 to 4, and then 4 to 8. And so we can see that we have 4 arrows in this jump here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 arrows to 8. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's talk about how we can use number lines to compare numbers. So one of the big benefits of using a number line is that we can very clearly see which numbers are larger than each other. And at the beginning, when we were learning how to count, this is really helpful for us. So let's go back to what we know about numbers so far. We can think of numbers as being some sort of group of dots or items where these dots represent those items. So for an example here, we would have a group of 3 shoes. 1, 2, 3. And 0 would have no dots in its group. 1 would have 1 dot in its group, or a single dot. 2 would have a pair of dots, or 2 dots. 3 would have a pair and a single, or 3 dots. 4 would have 2 pairs, and then 5 would have 2 pairs and a single. And so we can see as we move to the right, we're gaining dots each time, which is really what counting is all about, is gaining those dots. And so we can look and we can immediately see that these numbers that are further to the right on the number line are going to be larger or bigger than the numbers that are to the left. So for example, 2 is larger than 5. And 2 is smaller than 5, and 5 is larger than 2. 2 is smaller and 5 is larger. So we see that 2 is to the left of 5, and 5 is to the right of 2. And so the numbers that are more to the right are going to be larger, and the numbers that are more to the left are going to be smaller. And in the future, we're going to expand these to even larger numbers and even smaller numbers as well. So we're going to extend our number line out both ways. Now let's talk about really the first symbols which I think we're going to be introduced to so far in this series, other than the numbers. And that's going to be the greater than and the less than signs. So these can look kind of abstract on their own. The way that you draw is just half of a diamond. So if you think of a diamond, just do half for each side. And so the one that faces to the left is going to be the greater than sign, and the one that faces to the right is going to be the less than sign. And this can be kind of confusing to try to remember that. But think of your number as being a fixed number on the left. So we always do it with respect to the number on the left. So 6 is larger than or greater than 4. So our arrow here, or our open diamond here, is going to be pointing towards the 6 since it's larger than 4. 6 here is smaller than 7. So here, we're no longer talking about 6, but rather we're talking about the 4. Is 4 larger than or smaller than 6? And in this case, 4 is smaller than 6. So 4 is less than 6. One way that we are often taught, especially at a younger age, of how to think of this, is that we can draw this half diamond, and we can put teeth in it. And we can think of this half diamond as being the mouth of an alligator or crocodile, and it's wanting to eat the larger number. So 6 has more dots, so the alligator is going to get more full off of 6. All right, we can do the dots here. And we see that there are more dots on this side than there are on this side. So the alligator is wanting to eat this number here. And going back up to here, we can now see that the numbers that are further to the right are going to be greater than, and the numbers that are further to the left are going to be less than. So in this case here, 2 is less than 5, and 5 is greater than 3. And that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. We are introducing a new model so that we can learn to count in different ways. And learning to count in different ways and with other concrete ideas of what counting is very beneficial when you are first learning how to count. So learning leapfrog method with counting, or a building and its stories, for example, can be rather beneficial for people, especially young children, learning how to count, as they can then take these ideas and apply it, which really is what math is all about at a younger age, is applying it and being able to see the world with respect to these other ideas. And that's going to conclude episode 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something great out of this and can continue your educational journeys. Thank you so much. Have a good day.